Income tax circular number 1023 dated 30th June 2023. Income tax department or CBDT has issued a circular number 10 by 2023 dated 30th June 2023. This circular is related with TCS on LRS. So we should know what is LRS. LRS means what is LRS? What is liberalized remittance scheme? Now, in 2004, the RBI, Reserve Bank of India, introduced the LRS scheme. So, the full form of LRS is Liberalized Remittance Scheme. It is a foreign exchange policy introduced by the Reserve Bank of India in 2004. However, before 2004, the Act of Fund Transfer from India to other countries came with several restrictions under the Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999. Thus, RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India, introduced the LRS to facilitate the smooth foreign transaction. This initiative is used to simplify and streamline the process of remitting the funds outside India. Under LRS, resident individual can freely remit the funds up to a certain limit for various permissible transactions involving a current account or a capital account. So, LRS is liberalized remittance scheme introduced by Reserve Bank of India in 2004. What are the benefits of liberalized remittance scheme in India? That is, what are the benefits of LRS in India? The benefits are this diversification of investment, overseas education, medical treatment, travel, startups and the business investment, gift and donation, going abroad for employment, immigration, maintenance of close relatives abroad, travel for business or attending a conference or specialized training or for meeting expenses for meeting medical expenses or check-up abroad or for accompanying as attendant to a patient going abroad for medical treatment and checkup. So the RBI has introduced the LRS scheme, LRS, for the benefits of this of resident of individuals or the partners or certain persons to get the benefit from the LRS. What is the current LRS limit? The LRS is applicable on Indian resident. Apart from corporates, partnership firms, HUF, etc., are eligible for LRS, Liberalized Remittance Scheme. And the current limit for Liberalized Remittance Scheme is US USD 2,50,000 for a given financial year. You can remit a higher amount after taking prior permission from the Reserve Bank of India. So this is the current LRS limit for Indian resident. Apart from corporates and partnership firms, HF etc. are eligible for LRS. Is LRS taxable? The profit earned from investment with more than 24 months of holding periods are eligible for 20% taxation. You need to pay a 5% TCS for a transfer of rupees 7 lakh and above. So LRS is taxable, as for this reason, for this TCS should be collected on the LRS. So for this reason, the Circular Indian Income Tax Act CBDT has introduced the circular 10 by 2023 dated 30th 6 2023. Can I claim the TCS on LRS? The question is, can I claim the TCS on LRS? Since the LRS is taxable, can I claim the TCS on LRS? Yes, you can. You can claim the TCS on LRS. Yes, as per circular number 1023, 10 by 2023, dated 30th June 2023. Yes, you can claim the TCS in your income tax return or AS 26 AS. You can claim the TCS in your return. So here is that the TCS can be collected. So what is the how the TCS can be collected, and then what are the nature of payment on which the TCS can be collected. The nature of payment on the LRS is given here. Increased TCS rate shall be applicable from 1st October 2023. So in the circular in this circular is applicable from 10th October 1st October 2023. Nature of payment is the LRS for education financed by loan from financial institution. Earlier, before the Finance Act 2023, the LRS TCS should be collected nil up to 7 lakh, and after 7 lakh rupees 0.50% would be the TCS. But after the Finance Act 2023, the TCS up to 7 lakh is nil, but above the 7 lakh 0.5% will be the TCS. That is the in this case the earlier Finance Act 2023 and after Finance Act 2023, the both are same in case of LRS for education financed by the loan from financial institution is same. Now, in case of the ALRs for medical treatment and the education, other than other than the finance by loan, in that case, the earlier before Finance Act 2023 up to 7 lakh it was nil TCS, there is no TCS, but above 7 lakh the 5% of the amount, 5% of the remittances will be as a TCS. But after 1st October, that is Finance Act 2023, the 1st October 2023, the up to 7 lakhs the TCS is nil, but above 7 lakhs the 5% of the remittances will be treated as the TCS. And number 3, LRS for other purposes in case of education or medical. In these two cases, we have discussed earlier, but ALRs for other purpose, not education, not medical, then the earlier before the Finance Act 2023 up to 7 lakh there is no TCS, but above 7 lakhs the TCS was 5% of the amount remittances. But in case of the new rate with effect from 1st October 2023, the up to 7 lakhs there is no TCS, but 20% above 7 lakhs. But if it is exceeds the remittances 7 lakhs, then the TCS would be 20% of the 20% of above 7 lakhs. 20% LRs. And in case of purchase of overseas tour program, in this case earlier Finance Act 2023, therefore without any threshold, there is no limitations of 7 lakh, 5% of the remittances, 5% of the remittances would be treated as TCS. Now after 1st October, after Finance Act 2023, that is with effect from 1st October 2023, the up to 7 lakhs 5% of the remittances will be treated as TCS, and above 7 lakhs 20% of the remittances would be treated as a TCS. Therefore, the purchase of overseas tour program, if with effect from 1st October 2023, the up to 7 lakhs 5% of the remittances will be treated as TCS, and above 7 lakhs 20% of the remittances will be treated as TCS. So note here that the TCS rate in column number 2, that is in this column before Finance Act 2023, shall continue to apply till 30th September 2023, because the new rate applicable from 1st October 2023, so before 30th September, that is 1st April 2023 to 30th September 2023, the old rate is applicable, that is in column number 2 it will be applicable. Number 2, there shall be no TCS on expenditure under LRS under the clause 1 of subsection 1 of 1G of section 206C for the first rupees 7 lakhs irrespective of the purposes. Irrespective of purposes, here the mistake is G is here, but it will be C. So this is the TCS on the nature of payment on LRS. There are two types of nature of payments we have discussed here. One is LRS, another one is purchase of overseas tour program. So in case of LRS for education, number two medical, and number three is other purposes. Here is 7 in these three cases up to 7 lakh there is no TCS, but above 7 lakhs there is a TCS as the rate prescribed here. And for purchase of overseas tour program before 30th September the 5% would be the TCS, but after 1st October 2023 the TCS rates are two. One is 5% up to 7 lakhs and 20% thereafter above 7 lakhs. So there is no exemption limit in case of purchase of overseas tour program. If there is 1 lakh rupees, the TCS will also be collected for the payment. With the approval of the central government, the CBDT has issued some guidelines in the form of a questions. So they solve certain questions with the answers. So here the guidelines in the form of question. The question number 1 is whether the payment through the overseas credit card would be counted in LRS. The answer is as announced in the press release dated 20th June 2023, the classifications of use of international credit card while being overseas as LRS is postponed. Therefore, no TCS shall be applicable on expenditure through the international credit card while being overseas till further order. That means the payment through the international credit card will not be counted in LRS. And in the question number 2, in question number 2, there are two parts in question number 2. One is question number 2 is question, another is example. Now in question number 2, the question is whether the threshold of rupees 7 lakh for TCS to become applicable on LRS applies separately for various purposes like education, health, treatment and others. The question is the threshold of 7 lakh rupees applies separately for various purposes or not? This is the question. The answer is that the threshold of rupees 7 lakh for the LRS is combined the threshold for the applicability of the TCS on LRS irrespective of the purpose of the remittance. The TCS is not required if the amount or aggregate of the amount being remitted by a buyer is less than 7 lakh rupees in a financial year. That is, in case of the remittance is less than 7 lakh rupees, then there is no TCS as per the question number 1 or the guidelines number 2. Okay, and in case of example, if we follow the example, in example, if remittance of rupees 7 lakh under LRS is made in a financial year for education purpose and other remittances in the same financial year of rupees 7 lakh is made for medical treatment and rupees 7 lakh for other purpose, whether the exemption limit of rupees 7 lakh shall be given to each of these three separately. That means the 7 lakh is 7 lakh for education purpose, 7 lakh is medical treatment purpose and 7 lakh is other purposes. That means total expenditure or total remittances is 21 lakhs. Then the 7 lakh exemptions will be, what will be the 7 lakh exemption? The 7 lakh exemption for TCS purposes. This is the question, and answer is that the 7 lakh rupees up to rupees 7 lakhs no TCS. Subsequent rupees 14 lakhs remittances, that is the TCS will be applicable under the LRS in accordance with the TCS rate applicable. In this example, if the remittances under LRS are made in the current financial year at the different point of time, then the TCS rate remaining rupees 14 lakhs remittances under LRS would depend on the time of remittances as TCS rate changes from 1st October 2023. That is, the 21 lakh is remittances. So up to 7 lakhs there of remittances, there is no TCS, and subsequent 14 lakhs remittances TCS is applicable depending on the rates as the financial year 2023 and 24, and before 30th September 2023 there is separate rate was there, and after 1st October 23 there is separate rate is there. So depending on the rate, the subsequent 14 lakh rupees remittances TCS will be applicable on that subsequent 14 lakh rupees here. So here is 21 lakh will be taxable, but 7 lakh will be not be taxable. Only 14 lakh is taxable. Now, second is first 14 lakh remittances under LRS during the first financial year 2023-24 education purpose. For that matter, any purpose, therefore no TCS will be there. Just clear cut that the only 7 lakh rupees, there is no TCS on 7 lakh rupees remittances, and there is another two things is there because on or before 30th September 2023 there is separate rate of TCS was there. So remittances beyond 7 lakh under LRS during the financial year 2023-24, if on or before the 30th September 23, then the rate will be there. The rate is that the TCS is at the rate of 0.50% if it is for education purpose financed by loan from a financial institution, and the TCS number 2 is TCS is at the rate of 5% irrespective of the purpose unless it is for education purpose or financed by loan from a financial institution. Therefore the after 7 lakh, up to 7 lakh no TDS, no TCS, but after 7 lakhs, if it is the remittances is for the education purpose financed by the loan from a financial institution, then TCS will be 0.540% on the remittances. If the remittances is for education purpose, but it is education purpose irrespective of the education purpose, or it is not in education, it is education purpose but not finance from the financial institution, then the TCS will be 5%, or in other cases it will be 5%. TCS will be 5% on the remittances. If the remittances on or after 30th September 2023, then the remittances beyond 7 lakh under the LRS during the financial 2023-24, if on or after 30th September 2023, then the TCS provision is there. There is what the TCS provision? TCS provision is that the TCS is at the rate of 0.50% if it is for education purpose financed by the loan from a financial institution. And number 2, if the TCS is at a 5% if it is for education purpose not financed by the loan from a financial institution, or it is for medical treatment. And number 3, TCS is 20% if it is for other purpose. So if the remittances is after 31st September 2023, then there are 3 scenarios there. If it is education purpose and the remittances for by financed by the loan for financial institution, then the TCS is 0.50%. If the remittances is for education purposes not financed by the loan from financial institution, TCS is only 5% of the remittances. And if it is not the above 2, it is for other purposes, then the TCS is only 20% of the remittances. The CBDT had issued the guidelines. The question number 3 or guidelines number 3. Since there are different TCS rates on LRS for the first 6 months and the next 6 months of the financial year 23-24, whether the threshold of rupees 7 lakh for TCS to become applicable on LRS applies separately for each 6 months. The question is, since the Finance Act 2023 is applicable from 1st October 2023. So up to 1st April 2023 to 30th September 2023, that is 6 months, the rate is different, and after 1st October 2023 to 31st March 2024, rate is different. So what will be the threshold of 7 lakh rupees applies separately for each 6 months? Whether the threshold of rupees 7 lakhs applies separately for 6 months? This is the question. 6 months, which 6 months will be applicable? First 6 months or second 6 months? This is the questions of or answer question, and answer will be here. Answer will be the no. The threshold of Therefore, the threshold of 7 lakh rupees applies separately for each 6 months. The answer is no. The threshold of rupees 7 lakhs applies for the full financial year. Threshold of 7 lakh will be applicable for full financial year. If this threshold has already been exhausted in the first 6 months, then in case of the remaining 6 months, then the no exemption will be separately given for 7 lakh rupees. So all subsequent remittances under LRS, whether in the first half or in the second half, would be liable for TCS at applicable rate. So this is the question number 3 and answer this. And in case of question number 4, whether the threshold of rupees 7 lakh for TCS to become applicable on LRS applies separately for each remittances to the different authorized dealers. If not, how will authorized dealer know about the earlier remittances by that remitter through some other authorized dealer? That means there is two questions here. One is the 7 lakh rupees applies separately for each remittance through the different authorized dealer. If there is different authorized dealer is there in the market, for 7 lakh rupees is applicable for the each dealer separately, or if not, how the dealer will be know that the earlier remittances was there. So the question's answer is the threshold of rupees 7 lakh for LRS is COA remitter and not COA authorized dealer. For it is remittance, 7 lakh is exemption is available for the remittances, not for the each dealer. And the thesis is not required if the amount or aggregate of the amount being remitted by the dealer is less than rupees 7 lakh in a financial year. If the remittance is less than 7 lakh rupees, there is no TCS. But since the facility to provide the real-time update of remittance under LRS by remitter is still under development by the RBI, Reserve Bank of India, it is clarified that details of earlier remittances under the LRS by the remitter during the financial year may be taken by the authorized dealer through an undertaking at the time of remittances. If the authorized dealer correctly collects the tax at source based on information given in this undertaking, he will not be treated as assessee in default. However, for any false information in the undertaking, appropriate action may be taken against the remitter under the Act. So, in case of 7 lakh rupees will be applicable for COA remitter, not for COA authorized dealer. But when we have taken the we have remittance the amount from the different authorized dealer, then we have to given the undertaking at the time of remittances. If we give the wrong information, then we will be treated as defaulter. So for that reason it will not a proper for the purpose of FEMA 1999, right? So therefore it is not necessary to know the authorized dealer that you have earlier remitted some amount to outside India. Guidelines or question number 5. There is threshold of rupees 7 lakh for remittance under LRS for TCS to become applicable, while there is another threshold of rupees 7 lakh for purchase of overseas tour program package where reduced rate of 5% TCS applies. Whether these two thresholds apply independently, that means there is threshold of 7 lakh rupees for remittances under LRS, or for the purchase of the overseas tour program package. So there is two threshold limit. Two types of remittances, one for LRS and another for overseas tour package program package. So the question is threshold limit will be applicable for independently for the both the cases or not. 7 lakh rupees threshold. The answer is yes. These two thresholds apply independently. For LRS, threshold of rupees 7 lakhs applies to make TCS applicable, and for purchase of overseas tour program package, the threshold of rupees 7 lakh applies to determine the applicable TCS rate as 5% or 20%. So for LRS, threshold of 7 lakh rupees will be available, and for the purchase of overseas tour package program, the separate threshold of 7 lakh rupees also available, and on the depending on that, TCS is 5% or 20% will be applicable. The question number 6. A resident individual spend rupees 3 lakh for purchase of overseas tour program package from a foreign tour operator and remits money which is classified under LRS. There is no other remittance under LRS or purchase of overseas tour program during the financial year. The question is whether TCS is applicable, because in this case the resident individual spent 3 lakh rupees for purchase of overseas tour program package from a foreign tour operator, but he remits the amount as under the LRS system. So the question is, since the amount is less than 7 lakhs under LRS, it is exempted, so there will be no TCS. The question is the TCS is applicable or not. The question here answer is, in case the purchase overseas tour program which is classified under is TCS provision for purchase of overseas tour program shall be applicable, not the TCS provision for remittance under LRS will be applicable. So TCS provision for purchase of overseas program will be applicable in that case. So there is no exemptions of rupees 7 lakh in case of the TCS provision for purchase of overseas tour program package. So now, since the purchase of overseas tour program package, the threshold of 7 lakh rupees applicable for the TCS does not apply here. But TCS is applicable and tax is required to be collected by the seller. In this case, tax shall be required to be collected at the rate of 5%, since the total amount spent for purchase of overseas tour program package during the financial year is less than rupees 7 lakh. The TCS should be collected by the TCS should be made by the seller. Here the purchase of overseas tour program package, so the system of TCS is the up to 7 lakh rupees, 5% is the TCS, and after 7 lakh rupees 20% will be the TCS, 20% will TCS. So since here is the 3 lakh rupees is the amount of remittance, so the TCS will be 3 lakh into 5%, there is 15,000 will be TCS. Guidelines on question number 7. There are different rates for remittance under LRS for medical treatment or education purpose and for other purposes. What is the scope of remittance under LRS for medical treatment or education purposes? This is the questions, or answer is, so there is two types of system is there. One is medical treatment, and another is the education purpose to benefit of LRS. Medical treatment and medication purpose. In case of medical treatment, the applicable as per the clarification by the RBI, a remittance for the purpose of medical treatment shall include these things. One, a remittance for purchase of tickets of the person to be treated medically overseas and his attendant for commuting between India and the overseas destination. Number 2, his medical expenses, and number 3, other day-to-day expenses required for such purchase. So this is the medical treatment, and expenses related with these 3 will be included for the medical treatment, and TCS will be collected on such expenses. The TCS provision for the purpose of medical treatment would apply when remittance is under the code S0304 or under code S1108. If the TCS provision applicable, if the medical treatment would apply when remittance is under these two codes, then the TCS provision applicable in case of medical treatment. But in case of the education purpose, what will be the remedy? The remittance for the purpose of education shall include remittance for purchase of tickets of the person undertaking study overseas for commuting between India and overseas destination. That is the conveyance expenses from India to overseas destination, and the tuitions and other fees to be paid to the education institute, and number 3, other day-to-day expenses required for undertaking such study. So these are the remittances, these are expenses related remittances. If these expenses related remittances will be made under through the code S0305 or under S1107, then the TCS provision for purpose of education would apply when the reputation is under these two codes. These two codes means S0305 and under S1107. So if this the evidence is under made in these codes, there are two codes for education and two codes for medical. One is medical for S0304 and S1108, and for education purpose S0305 and S1107. If this is the amount remitted through these codes, then the TCS will be applicable, and since it is under the LRA system, so 7 lakh up to 7 lakh it is exempted. Guidelines number 8 or question number 8: whether purchase of international travel ticket or hotel accommodation on stand-alone basis is purchase of overseas tour program package. So this is the question. The answer is, so first of all we have to know what is the overseas tour program package. For that purpose we have to know the definition of overseas tour program package. Here the definition of overseas tour program package. Overseas tour program package. The term overseas tour program package is defined as to mean any tour package which offers visit to a country or countries or territory or territories outside India and includes expenses for travel or hotel stay or boarding or lodging or any other expenditure of similar nature or in relation thereto. So this is the overseas tour program. So this is the overseas tour program. From this overseas tour program, we know that the purchase of only international travel ticket or purchase of only hotel accommodation by itself is not covered within the definition of overseas tour program package. For that reason, that could qualify the overseas tour program package, the package should include at least two of the following three. One is the international travel ticket, hotel accommodation with or without food or boarding or lodging, or any other expenditure of similar nature or in relation thereto. So here, if it is overseas tour program package, so above the three conditions, two conditions must be fulfilled. Here only two conditions should be fulfilled. The international travel ticket or purchase only, or only the hotel accommodation is purchased. So it is not covered with the definitions of overseas tour program package. So in that case, it is the purchase of or international travel ticket or hotel accommodation on stand-alone basis is not under the purchase of overseas tour program package.